All right, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about some issues that I had with the elevator trim tab, and I'll get into it here.
All right, so the problem I'm having is my trim tab with how I have it riveted to the piano hinge actually causes it to rub at the seam here. And so when it's cycling up and down, you can hear it scraping against this piece here. Problem that I have is that the directions have you measure a specific spot on the piano hinge for the first hole, then you cleco that, and then you match drill every hole along the trim tab. And so I think I am going to reorder a new piano hinge and just shift it down a little bit to basically move the trim tab over just a fraction of an inch, but still have the piano hinge in the same location in relation to the other half. The only other option I would have would be to remove the piece here, try to refold the end here, and that's a lot of work and a lot of room for messing it up. So I think the easiest thing is just going to be to reorder the piano hinge and then redo this piece to basically just shift the trim tab itself over with relation to the piano hinge. So in the meantime, the only steps that I have left are to blind rivet these ends here on the trim tab, and also here. That's what I've been waiting for delivery of blind rivets. I ran out. I had to drill out a few. So I've got extra blind rivets for this particular size. It uses a number 33 drill bit to match drill, and then use the blind rivets. I don't recall the part number. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that up. So the trim tab itself is finished and the pieces here are finished. And then I'll go ahead and refit it and see if maybe just by riveting the pieces together it might pull the material in enough to where it's not scraping. I don't have a lot of faith that that's going to happen, but it's worth a try. So that'll get the left elevator done, with the exception of reordering the piano hinge, if that's indeed what I need to do. And then I also need to do the same thing to the right elevator. There's a couple rivet areas that I need to finish up, and it'll be essentially complete. In fact, it might already be complete as it is. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. We'll get the rest of this done what I can. It's about 10 o'clock at night. I just got home from work, and actually I'm just got done with my avionics class that I'm taking as a night class. I got to get up at 2:30 in the morning to go back to work, so I'm only going to do a little bit of work tonight, but that's kind of the benefit of doing this in your garage or at your home, is that, as they say, every 15 minutes that you're able to put in is 15 minutes closer to being complete, instead of having to drive down to, say, a hangar that you may have or something like that, where it takes time to get there. If you're building out of your home, you just take 15 minutes, go into the garage, do a little bit of work, and then go back to doing whatever you need to do. So let's get to it.
And I initially had a hangar that I'd rented at the local airport here, and after about a month, they kicked me out. The owners sold it to somebody else, and that somebody else had no interest in renting hangars. They only wanted to sell them. So initially I had planned on building this out of the hangar. But looking back, I'm glad that it happened that way. It is a lot easier to work out of your garage, or out of your home, or out of your shop, whatever you may have nearby. Because like I said, every 15 minutes that you can have a spare moment, just go out and work on a plane and get a piece done, and it goes by a lot quicker that way. I probably wouldn't be half as far as I am if I had to drive to the hangar and back to work on the airplane. So here I am just looking at getting the ends clecoed and then riveted. That was the issue I was having with the rubbing, is the pieces, when they were not riveted, were rubbing. And so here I am, just kind of going through and trying to make sure everything fits. And the other thing I'd done is I rounded off the tip of the piano hinge rod to make it go in a lot easier. It definitely helps. But anyway, so as I'm getting it fitted on here, it seems to be working pretty well, and I'll kind of get into what I discovered here.
All right, so I've riveted the two end pieces together. Line rivets here to hold this piece together, and then the same thing on each of the bases of the trim tab. And it actually got rid of the rub. So I'm not going to have to reorder a part after all, and this is going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting in the hinge wire into the piano hinge, and it'll pretty much be done at that point. Only thing I have left to do is, once I get it fully inserted, I got to measure and bend this in place, and then safety wire. And I've got some safety wire on order. Hopefully it'll get here in the next day or two, to where I can safety wire all that together, and the left elevator will essentially be done. So I'm actually very surprised by this. It's a very tight clearance, and I was not expecting this result. So as I'm cycling it here, you can't hear anything rubbing. So the rivets pulled it in more than I anticipated that they would. So we're good to go. Yay.
So yeah, turned out to be pretty lucky on that. Like I said, I was pretty concerned about the ability to get that completed and have it not rub. So worked out well, and now I'm able to continue on. So the only thing I have left on the elevator, like I said, is to form the piano hinge rod and then safety wire it. And then after that, just attach the trim tab motor control rod to the actual tab itself. And then the elevators will be essentially complete, with the exception of the fairings at the very ends, and then the attachment hardware to be able to attach it to the horizontal stabilizer. And other than that, it continuing on. So as I'm making this video or editing this video, I'm just started on the tail cone, getting to the point of constructing all of the bulkheads and starting to get the skins and actually start to make a big piece of the body. So looking forward to where it's going. And like I've said before, it's been a fairly easy process. A few mistakes along the way, but other than that, not too bad. So if you're thinking about doing one of these, I highly recommend it. Even if you have never done any kind of sheet metal work or anything like that, it's not terribly hard to figure out how to do it. So with that, I'm going to let this video end here. And again, thank you for following these videos. If you get a chance, hit that like button for me. I'd appreciate it. All right, we'll see you next time around.